Hi, I'm Todd Sorrel with ePayPolicy, and here today we're just going to speak a little bit about the word agency bill, kind of what that means in the context of independent insurance agents today and the whole world of excess and surplus lines and specialty lines and kind of all those things that somewhat mean the same thing. Let's make an example, right? So let's just say over here that we've got Jane, and Jane owns a CPA office. In her CPA office, she's an insured, she's one of the smiley faces here. Jane's CPA office here needs general liabilities, workers' comp, and those types of insurance. Let's just say there's been some claims, and so she's now in the excess and surplus lines business, so it's agency bill. Her agent went out and found her a broker to underwrite her, to issue her insurance, and so she has now a policy option through her independent agent to buy a policy for GL for her CPA firm. So let's just say that premium right there is $10,000 for the year. So we have a 1-year policy at $10,000 premium for Jane and her firm. So agency bill means the agency would issue a bill to Jane for $10,000. And so Jane has a choice right there. She can write a check, she can pay cash, she can use credit card or ACH, other types of methods to cover that $10,000, or she can do what's called premium finance. But in any case, this right here where she pays the $10,000 to the agency, this is the agency bill part. So she pays the $10,000 to the agency. The agencies always make a commission. So let's just say 10% in this case, I'm just making this up. So they make $1,000 on this account. The $9,000, the agency is then going to remit up to the broker or MGA. So $9,000 is going up here to the broker. And that's it. And that's really an agency bill type of product there. So the agency issues the policy after payment is made on the effective date or right around that effective date. So the effective date is when Jane purchased the insurance or when it's coming up for renewal. She purchased the policy for $10,000. The agency keeps the commission out and they do what's called net funding. They keep the $1,000 and net fund the broker. Sometimes there's a gross funding where the agency will submit 100% of the funds collected, in this case $10,000, and the $1,000 will come back to the agency. So that's called gross funding, but sometimes it can be net funding or gross funding. However the MGA or broker works it out with the agency there. So anyway, this is a case of agency bill where the insured made a payment to the agency, collecting the funds, and everything is paid for and good to go. She gets her policy issued, and now she has coverage. Okay, let's talk about Jane now and her CPA firm that she has, and she still has an agency bill product, excess and surplus lines. Let's just talk about her product now that she's purchased, her policy she's purchased from her agency. Let's talk about her financing options. Maybe she doesn't have the $10,000 now to pay for her premium. So she has a $10,000 premium for her annual coverage. For general liability, maybe there's some other lines of coverage there, like workers' comp or umbrella, something like that. So her $10,000 right here can be financed. Maybe cash flow is a concern, or maybe she just wants to spread this out over a number of payments. There's what's called a premium financing option. So premium finance companies work in the agency bill space. They make it easy for insureds to make payments to their agencies on the down payment, but also installment payments to the premium finance company. So in return, just like any kind of financing out there, like your home or auto, or anything that you finance personally, the finance company is going to make payments to the MGA broker to cover that payment. So they're going to pay for the insurance, and they're going to collect payments from Jane's CPA firm. Let's see how this works. So $10,000 is made here. The agency says, listen, here's your bill for $10,000 for your annual coverage. Now Jane lets her agency know, hey, there are other options. I have to pay this all up front. And the agency says, actually, you can finance this. And typically, this is how financing works. They offer, hey, here's your down payment percentage called minimum earned premium. So minimum earned premium is the minimum amount that Jane's company, the insured, has to pay the insurance agency to collect. So most of the time, it's right around 25%. It can differ from time to time, most on 25%. So Jane is going to make a $2,500 payment to the agency. Now, there's $7,500 out here left still, okay? So $7,500 comes in the form of premium finance. The agency is going to issue Jane what's called a premium finance agreement, okay? And this is just a note. It's just a note saying the finance company is going to pay your insurance for you. So in this case, it's $7,500. And then what the finance company is going to do is issue a note to Jane, and Jane has to make, say, 9 monthly installments. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's a little bit more than that. So it's 9 installments to the premium finance company. And that 9 installments is going to be rough. It's going to cover your $7,500. So it's going to be $7,500, which is your principal plus interest, right? So there's an APR here that the premium finance company charges. So $7,500 plus your annual APR, your 9 installments. So in this case here, Jane decides, hey, I'm going to finance my insurance. The $10,000 is something I want to use cash flow for. So in this case here, she makes her down payment, $2,500 to her agency. $7,500 is going to be financed by the premium finance company. They know who the broker is because the agency lets them know. So $7,500 is paid here. And they set up a PFA, a premium finance note with Jane. So there's 9 payments, which includes $7,500 for her principal and the APR that they charge, just like a bank. When you think about agency bill, all we're talking about is the agency billing the insured for their insurance. And the insured has 2 options, like we covered here today. The insured can do pay in full. They pay in full their agency, and the agency then remits payment over to the MGA broker. Or the insured can do what's called minimum earned premium. They can pay a down payment to the agency. Agency keeps their commission out of that. And the difference, in this case, the 75% is financed by a premium finance company. So these premium finance companies will step in and supply a premium finance agreement to the insured, which is all online, by the way. This is all, payments can be done online. The PFA is issued online. It's usually in concert with everything here. So everyone's communicating here. The agency is communicating, finance company and the broker about who the insured is, what kind of insurance they have, what kind of coverage it is, what kind of client Jane is too. Do they have a good credit history? Have they paid their bills in the past? Have there been late payments or installments or anything like that? So everyone really is trying to kind of in concert work together here to get this agency bill or this ENS or surplus lines type of product covered, the specific risk covered for Jane and all the other insureds too. So anyway, this is just a agency bill coverage here. Again, I'm Todd Sorrel with ePayPolicy. Thanks for the time.